people need to appreciate what the government is doing. We were given an overwhelming mandate. We have a social contract with the people. They took away the SWAL government because they believed we have the political will to curb the menace. And so there's a need to speak to what we are doing about the Galamsey situation. We listen to the calls of everybody. We are taking note. We hear the cries. We are paying attention. The Catholic Bishop Conference, the Galamsey Hub, freedom fighters, so many people are talking about this. We are listening. We are paying a lot of attention. And so now, as a government, what have we done so far within 8 months? What have we done after the deplorable state that we met our environment? What have we done to curb, to combat the Galamsey menace? Let me reiterate this, Annie. Let me reiterate this. We have not declared a state of emergency now because the two scenarios are different. But even before I go into why we have not yet declared a state of emergency, there's a need for people to appreciate what we have done so far as a government that has the political will, that listens to the cry of people, that recognizes the social contract we have with the people of Ghana. What have we done? Since we came to power, we have not issued a single mining license in our forest areas. I think it's worth noting this. Additionally to that, we had to comprehensively audit all mining licenses, and we identified 55. We've identified 55. In fact, we've identified close to 1,000, but as it stands, we have revoked 55 fraudulent licenses. 900 are in the pipeline to be revoked. These licenses...
To be revoked or reviewed?
Revoked.
Okay, either revoked or reviewed.
No, this is revoked. So 55. We realized that there were close to 1,000.
So all these 950,
yes,
they are all under review?
No. The 900 are near completion for revocation.
Oh, okay.
I get it.
Oh, wow.
But we have revoked 55 outright.
Okay.
And the 900 I can see on authority will be revoked in earnest. That is what we came to meet. How do people in right conscience issue fraudulent mining licenses for party cronies who have no or little idea, any idea at all, in responsible mining? So we had to revoke it. And as we all know, published by a sister station, that from 1988 to 2016, licenses that had been issued for mining were not even up to 100. They were about 98, 99. But how do you explain that between 2017 to December 2024, people had issued licenses? It is interesting to even know that the licenses were even issued from 2022 to 2024. Over 2,151. This is crazy. Why would people subject our environment by issuing this license? Why would people do that? Additionally, we are monitoring the equipment, specifically the excavators that come to our ports for clearance. And so the Lands and Natural Resource Ministry is working closely with the Ministry of Transport, DVLA, and the Port and Harbour Authority to ensure that any excavator that leaves the port is properly monitored. And that is why we've introduced tracking devices.
And number plates.
I'm talking about tracking devices.
Yes.
Let me speak to that. You see, it's important important because we did not have that before. And so if somebody comes and do their paperwork and say, oh, I'm going to use the excavator, perhaps for sand production, for road construction, we just allow it. But perhaps they could be heading to a riverbank. And so for the trucking, and we've done close to 700 out of the 1,000 that were at the port for clearance. And we can say that with the civilians and for our consciousness, now you can't take all the excavators I'm talking about are currently being used for the purposes for which they were collected.
I was going to ask you if there's been a situation where you've been able to demobilize any excavator in a site it's not meant to be.
We have not. You know why? Because we are tracking and they know what it means. Because if we see that we find it culpable, we are going to ensure that we seize it.
What if they demobilize the tracker? Are they able to do it?
For now, we have not had that experience.
Okay.
But if we track and see that there's a funny situation, we will take you on. And so for now, so that, speaks to the fact that this tracking system is very, on point. It is going to ensure that we get the excavators to do right, or as per whatever they've told us they are going to use the excavators for. Additionally, I know you've heard about the NIMOS. The NIMOS is the National Anti-Mining. Help me, please.
I think I already hear.
Yes, the NIMOS. And it has a composition of all agencies that have the will to, combat the Galamsey fact.
Yeah.
It has representation from
anti-illegal
Operation Secretariat. Exactly. And so it's a composition of all agencies that are focused in fighting the Galamsey. You see, if a police task force is on their own, Ministry of Defense is on their own, Ministry of Environment, National Security, BNI, and all other agencies who currently form part of the NIMOS are all working to fight it on their own, and it's not centralized and properly coordinated, I think we would not be able to achieve the result we would be able to achieve with a coordinated, center front. And what have they been able to do with the water guards? What have they been able to do? They have seized 440 excavators.
440.
They've also seized 300 shamfais. And they've also seized 900 water pumps. And so the water pumps, we've given it to Ministry of Agriculture, to help our farmers with irrigation. We've also arrested, and so the Office of Attorney General is also part of the NIMOS. You also arrested 1,400 illegal miners.
So this you have done, arresting illegal miners.
Yes.
Seizing excavators.
Burning
of excavators
exactly,
and
yes.
fines. Forming task forces.
Yes.
These 4, at least I've mentioned,
have been executed under the NIMOS.
No. I'm saying that they were all being done in the previous, and that has been the argument. That has been the debate today. Mm-hmm. They were also being done.
How can you compare? Let me say this. In their 8-year term, it will interest you to know that they arrested a little over 500 legal miners. 8 years.
So you're looking at
how can a serious government fighting Galamsey arrest a little over 500 people within 8 years? How can you compare that to a baby government that is 8 months old that has arrested over 1,400 people? Can you see the disparity? They didn't have the willpower because their party cronies were the people who were beneficiaries of, the illegal mining.
But that's the reason why you said you were going to chase the kingpins. If I remember President Mohammed's words then at the time, he said, these small boys, we have to leave them and go after the real kingpins behind the Galamsey
let me say this clearly, we are on course. Before you get to a kingpin, you need to have the chain.
Okay, yeah.
You need to first grab those who are around the river banks. Do your analysis and get to the kingpin. So we are on course. And so looking at the numbers, I just spoke about over 1,400 being, caught within the period of 8 months. Clearly, we would be able to get the kingpins. Are you getting how it works? So you definitely need to get them first. Then you can move on with intelligence gathering to get the others. We've also repealed the airline 24/6. We are in the process of repealing it. And once the parliament, comes after recess, we are going to repeal it. The minister has written to the Attorney General. And so it would be repealed just when, Parliament
resumes
recess. And that is a government that is committed to the fight of Galamsey. Annie, are you following?
Yes, I am.
That is a government. And I believe viewers are also, with all these things that we have done, we have even also reclaimed 5,500 hectares of land that were in a deplorable state. We have reclaimed them. We have reclaimed them. 5,500 hectares of land that were completely destroyed.
When you say you've reclaimed, what do you mean? Because reclaim is very technical.
Yeah.
Having reclaimed the land means you have been able to seize the land from them. You've been able to plant trees. You've done all the technical processes that need
the planting of
to
trees,
reclaim a land.
The planting of trees is ongoing. And that is why our president said there's a need for, if you've heard the tree for life, that is a term. And we are very keen when it comes to slogan. We are not like other people who would always put out slogans and don't really mean what they are saying. And so we have planted millions of trees as it stands, and we are going to do more. And so we reclaim the land. Yeah, and it's continuous and it's ongoing.
I think you're safer putting it as you're in the process of doing land reclamation. Not necessarily
you have
done that. Because within the short period of time the government has been in office, it's impossible to have been able to reclaim land for now.
It's impossible. It's impossible because of what we have been used to in the past. But we have done. So let me put it side by side. But I know that, but maybe I would have to, cross-check with it. But I know we reclaimed it, 5,000. We can speak to the figure because we've reclaimed it. I would agree with you if we are not done with the tree planting. That is okay.
That's why I'm saying that land reclamation is technical.
Okay, it's a total,
it's not
that's fine.
It's not
so
English.
Let me yes. So, and as you already know, with our responsible cooperative mining and skills development, it's all to ensure that we promote responsible mining. And so if you see the minister always traveling around already, they visited 30 communities. You see how to, get all the stakeholders on board and make things right. We are also reviewing the Minerals and Mining Act 2006-703 and also the Minerals and Mining Policy 2014. And it's all to ensure, that there is, responsible mining after stakeholder, engagement, and parliament, approval and whatever, however you may put it. And so there's so many things we are doing as a government. And so Ghanaians should know that the president they voted for, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is not relenting in the fight against Galamsey. And indeed, he has said it that there are so many avenues we need to, explore. And the difference between us and the past government is that we have a political will. Are you following?
Yeah.
And the reason why we told them to declare a state of emergency, but even before I go there, I'm going to come there, then I'll wrap up quickly, then my sister also, comes in. We have now deployed military, people around our water bodies and our forest areas. And so you dare not. go to these areas to practice illegal mining.
I hope they are not protecting illegal miners.
They are not.
They are not protecting.
No, you see,
I don't know why I'm saying that.
Yes, because of what we had experienced in the past with the 288 reserves that had 44 being, protected by tax, where tax were protecting illegal miners, and we reclaiming 9 for the red zone. So I know because there's a history, you may be tempted to think that the military people we have deployed to the water bodies and the forest reserves may be serving the same purpose as the previous government. But that is not the case, Annie. These are people who have been deployed to ensure that you don't cross the threshold. And we mean business. And that is actually the latest of all the things we are doing to combat galamsey. And so now to the question of why we are not declaring state of emergency. Let me say this emphatically. With all due respect to Ghanaians who want a state of emergency declared, we have an action plan. We are executing the action plan vis-a-vis a past government that was clueless, that they don't have any idea or have any plan or could not work out their action plan or slogans like the Operation Halt, Operation This, Operation That. We all heard it. And let me also say this, that, and I know for a fact, and you know why I know, because I was on the other side at that point in time. When they even declared the banning on the galamsey, it was not because they thought that was the best foot forward. The plan was that they were clueless. We want power. We did not expect to win the power. So now we need to go back to the drawing table to see what we can do. So what they decided to do. Okay,
you need to do a needs assessment.
Well, it comes in again. So now let's just leave it. Let's just, ban it. So that was when they banned it around 2017, April, thereabout. That let's just ban it. And after banning it, we saw a hike or a peak in galamsey. Why? Because they did not have any plan. So if you dispute what I'm saying, that they had a plan before banning it, I'm telling you they did not have a plan. And why you need to believe me is because it escalated. Even with the Professor Frimpong report on ministerial, anti-galamsey, what have you. What did we see? We all saw what happened. We all heard it. That committee members were even found culpable. We're very, very much interested that after the banning or whatever the case may be, we are now going to put our best foot forward to make the land or environment very deplorable. So they didn't have any plan. And so when we called for a state of emergency, I'm not going to shy away from it. Some members of my party called for a state of emergency. We did that then because they could not work out any action plan.
Your members of your party, as in NDC.
Of course, I'm in the NDC now.
Rosemary,
you are very mischievous. You are very mischievous, Annie. But let's stick to why we called for a state of emergency then. Personally, I'm not going to shy away from it. Why? Because they had proved to us that they were clueless, almost ending the 8-year mandate. And so if you are clueless and people in, their party corners, party regional chairpersons, and what have you, we even had women organizers saying that in our local language, party hiesika, and so let's destroy the environment. Let's make the country very unbearable. And so with all this in place, with a report from Al Jazeera, ANAS, and all that, we had come to that point they had clearly depicted, they had clearly shown that they didn't have any willpower. There was no political will. They were clueless. They had no idea. And so we told them. And so a state of emergency was very valid then. Because they don't even exhaust any plans because they were just clueless. They were just interested in putting out slogans. And you know, and they know I know. When I say that, I know and you understand. Because they were just interested in putting out slogans. Operation this, operation that, let's do this, let's do that. What did it yield? And so we called for a state of emergency. It might not be everybody in the government. But some key members of our party called for it. And I'm saying that they called for it because there was no action plan. Vis-a-vis our situation now, we are a baby government. This is 8 months, or even let's say even 9 months, not even up to a year. Our action plan is on course. We are executing it. Those are elaborated and more.
All right.
And so clearly, there's a difference, there's a clear disparity. And so we can only indulge the voters, the people who put their confidence in us, that please, take it easy. Watch us. Let us implement our plans. If it fails, we'll go back to the drawing table and we will give you what you are looking for. That is what I can say.